Welcome back to Mrs. America's channel. Today we are talking about a chilling horror C-section. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
It's like a little miracle. Till I finally get here, huh? After 2 struggles. Did you pray for me?
I was falling asleep in the other room.
Stop it.
Let's talk stories. Will I eat? Past experiences for C-sections. So my first C-section I had, my first 2 actually were with the same doctor at Methodist Hospital. And long story short, my gynecologist ended up retiring. So with baby girl, I was in the struggle of like finding a doctor. So my sister had recommended Kaiser. So I was like, okay, screw it, we'll try Kaiser. For me, it was the worst experience. So my doctor was very rude and consistently saying about my weight, even though I only gained, I think, 11 pounds in the whole pregnancy. She was like not happy with that. So every time I went in, she would say, oh, you gotta watch your weight, okay, whatever. So that was kind of annoying. Then fast forward, they did the 1-hour glucose test, right? So it was normal. But then towards the end, she's like, oh, let's do the 3-4 hour. And I'm like, why? If it was normal. Fast forward, 6 days before I have my daughter, I'm scheduled for a C-section, they want to put me on insulin. Hold on. So anyways, they want to put me on insulin, and I'm like, yeah, no. So go for my scheduled C-section. My doctor's on vacation. So somebody else ends up performing the C-section, which was, pretty cool or whatever. So anesthesiologist comes in, does his thing. I lay down, surgeon, doctor does her thing. Baby comes out, everything's fine. But after, I'm like, okay, so the full recovery, whatever. And then they tell me, like, you ready to go home? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, I want to leave. I have 2 other kids at home. Like, I don't want to be here in the hospital. Hold on again. My son needs me. So anyways, they asked me if I want to go home. I'm like, hell yeah. So I'm like, how's the incision? So, they pick up my skin and they're like, because I have that overlap, I'm a bigger girl. So they pick up, they look at it and they're like, oh, your incision's really good. So I'm like, okay, cool. I feel great. I want to go home. Prior to that, I was telling them that I felt like some discomfort. So naturally what they do is they just, oh, let me give you pain meds, loading me up on pain meds so I can, mirror or cover the pain or discomfort that I was feeling. So later I ask again, like they allow me to take a shower. I take a shower and it's like disgusting. Okay. I'm probably gonna have to go through part 2. So if you're interested in continuing the story, I'm gonna do it right now. So just go to the next one. Okay. Part 2. So I take a shower. They're like, okay, you can take a shower, whatever. So I had her Sunday, Monday, they wouldn't let me shower until Tuesday morning. They had told me late on Monday night, like, oh, you can shower. It was like around, 9 or 10. And I was so tired. So I was like, you know what? I'll just shower in the morning, like, not a big deal. So again, I'm like telling them I still feel pain. They check my incision again and they're like, you're fine. Your incision it looks good. I'm like, okay, whatever. Go to sleep. Next day, wake up. I shower, and as I'm cleaning, like my inner thighs, what I thought was gauze or like bandage or something was my freaking skin peeling. So again, they had the band wrapped around me. What it was doing was it was like rubbing on the crease of my thighs, my inner, area, and basically caused like my skin to peel. So I get out of the shower and I'm like, you know, getting a cloth and wiping it. I'm like, why is there mucus? Like, there's mucus, there's blood, there's skin. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Hold on. So anyways, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I have all this shit going on. So immediately I'm like, is it my incision? I got an infection, which didn't happen in my other 2 C-sections. They also never put tape on me. So keep in mind, under the bandage, there was a big ass piece of fucking tape over my stomach. And over, I'm guessing, the incision, or by the incision part, to put pressure on my lower abdomen, I'm guessing. So I get out and I call the nurse and I'm like, something's going on down there. You guys keep on giving, let me give you pain meds. I said, stop giving me pain meds. You keep on wanting to give me pain meds. All you're doing is just covering up what I'm feeling. You keep looking at my incision, a little, you know, like, oh, you're fine, like just a little peek, but never actually like looking. So I'm like, no, I want the doctor in here or your head nurse or whatever, because you just keep giving me pain meds and I feel pain. There's something going on. There's pus. So again, lay down, let me look. So she, you know, pulls up my thing and she's like, your incision's fine. You know, there's nothing. And I'm like, well, I got pus from somewhere down there. Like, something's going on. So finally she lifts, you know, because I'm a big girl, I have all my skin's overlapping and shit. So she lifts like the crack area and her face just said it all. She was just like, watermelon. She was just like, go to part 3. Sorry guys, last one. I'll just close it out as that. What I meant to say was I would go for a 4th kid because the pregnancy, even though Kaiser sucked, I feel like if I had gone, you know, with my other doctor, I feel like the pregnancy would have been pretty easy in itself. I didn't think I was going to recover that well from the C-section because my 2nd C-section was terrible. The recovery process, I was in so much extreme pain and discomfort. And with this time around, it was just like, I felt great. I felt good. Like, I walked around, like, you know, as soon as they let me, I was walking around. You know, it did take some time for the anesthesia, you know, to wear off. So I was still pretty numb in my legs. So they didn't want me to get up, obviously. So they didn't want me to fall. But I was like, I can do this again. I told my husband, like, it was really good. Like, the whole surgery in itself, like, my body handled it very well. You know, the recovery, like, I'm 9 days, you know, post-surgery. And if you look at my incision, you couldn't even see it. It blends with my skin. It's fully healed. I feel great. But I would not want to have the experience at Kaiser again. You know, the rooms are small. The visitation sucked. The nurses were rude. And the shower was disgusting. The restrooms are disgusting. Like, for being a hospital and having, you know, a cesarean and open wound, you would think the environment in there would be more sanitary. But it wasn't. For me, it wasn't. I think Methodist was a lot more cleaner. You know, the nurses were a lot more attentive. You know, this time around I had to keep bugging and paging. You know, the nurses would just come in and check your blood pressure and then just disappear. Like, you wouldn't see them. You know, let me pop some pain meds and then they're gone for freaking hours. But yeah, that was my experience at Kaiser. Maybe some other people had better experiences. I don't know. Maybe it was my insurance that wasn't good enough, so they gave me a shitty ass room. I don't know, but I didn't like it at all. And then the fact that my doctor that saw me through the whole pregnancy didn't even deliver me because she went on freaking vacation. It's like, okay, whatever. But that was my experience. But you know what? This was my reward. And I'd do it all over again. Even the fucking rash. I would do it all over again. For her. So, that was my story time. I don't know. But I feel great. I feel awesome. I feel like I could run. I probably should run. Bye, guys.